Hi, my name is Julianne Arney, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker working in private practice in the state of Florida. Welcome to the Cultivative Conversation Podcast, where I engage listeners in conversation about mental health related topics and use questions designed to assist with exploring themes of gratitude, nostalgia, sharing, and learning, to normalize mental hygiene, and to invoke togetherness and intimacy through conversation. Welcome to another episode of the Cultivative Conversation Podcast. In this new season of the podcast, I plan to continue sharing questions and prompts to encourage vulnerability practice and relationship building. And what I'll also be doing new is sharing my responses to each question and your responses too. This week's Cultivative Conversation question is as follows. What is a goal that you have for this year? How do you plan to achieve it? One of my goals this year is to join my goddaughter in reading 50 books before January 1st, 2025. I've always loved reading, and the way that being excited about a good story, the way that reading activates my imagination, and the joy I find in learning through reading others' experiences and perspectives. I want to experience more of that joy this year. I also notice that when I'm reading regularly, I spend less time looking at screens, and decreasing my screen time is another important goal of mine. I plan to accomplish this goal by reading during breaks at work, before bed when I'm able, and by checking in with my goddaughter periodically for support, for accountability, and to keep it exciting by sharing what we're reading and learning. I've invited my friends and followers on Instagram and Facebook to share their response to this question, and now I'll share them with you.
So a goal I have this year is to do things that take me out of my comfort zone. And what I mean by that is trying new places, like food-wise, travel-wise, trying out new things, like work-related, trying to develop a new skill. Having conversations that I need to have. Also, like setting goals that are tough to accomplish, but I know ultimately will be rewarding, like reading more books. That's been something I wanted to do all of my life, but I've always told myself that it's difficult and that's just not something I'm into. But if I find books that I'm into, I'm sure I can read them. So that's one thing. Building more, I enjoy building, but I know it's not something I'm good at. So just trying more things in that way. I've already started off with building my shoe wall, so that's good practice, and I want to continue doing that. And enjoying more of what life has to offer, just in terms of not always thinking of one thing, like always thinking about buying shoes, which is still going to be a top priority for me, but opening myself up to other opportunities, like trying an expensive restaurant when I would be like, ooh, that just sounds like too much money. Instead of thinking of it that way, I'll think of it in a way as, well, if it's expensive, I can save towards it and then have that experience to say I did that. Yeah. All right.
My goal for this year is to stay consistent in the gym. I want to do a full year, and I want to see improvement. I want to stay on top of going to the gym because it's really about discipline that makes me want to go. So I hope to do better in that and stay consistent. And then I also just want to do really good in school. I just want to have a year of passing classes, and also when it comes to school, I want to be able to not obviously I'm going to stress about school, but I want to be able to just know that if I don't get this assignment done, it won't be the end of the world. I want to be able to just calm myself down and not kill myself over the thought of failure, or if I don't get it, like, it's okay. I can always retake it. I can always move on. It's fine. I won't kill myself thinking that like it's the end of the world because I didn't pass one assignment. So yeah. And also my procrastination. I have a habit of thinking about like how tiring something might do, and I end up procrastinating it for so long until I finally do it. And then when I finally do it, it's because like I'm literally at the deadline where I have no time to procrastinate anymore. So yeah, I want to change that about myself. I know I could change that like any time of the year. It doesn't have to be the new year, but um, well, it's only like the 8th, so that's what I hope to have changed by the end of the year.
Thank you so much for sharing your responses, and I hope to hear more responses from those of you listening. If you would like to share your answers to future Cultivative Conversation questions, please feel free to follow the podcast on Instagram at Cultivative Conversation, or to follow me on Facebook at Cultivative Counseling. Links to all related social media can be found in the episode description. Instructions for sending your responses can be found on those pages. And until our next conversation, take care. Thank you for joining me for this Cultivative Conversation. If you have not already, please subscribe to the Cultivative Conversation podcast and share this episode with a friend.